Len, we are back. Welcome to the Fantasy Wise Guys. We're your hosts, Mike Meals.
Joey Puma.
How you doing? What's
How you
going on, Puma?
a lot of news going on, but I'm excited to be back. I hope you are. I know our fans are, and yeah, let's get it rolling.
Yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you're following us. So, unfortunately, over this last week, looks like we've gotten into a little bit of a pickle with YouTube. Our views were blowing up lately. Seems like there was a little glitch in the algorithm, and our videos stopped getting shown. It happened. This is a very normal thing with a small account that's blowing up.
Definitely a conspiracy.
I mean, there's a couple of people we got our eye on, but I mean, dude, I just felt like all weekend with the people, the questions like, should I start this? They're still commenting on older videos.
Yeah.
Like, I realized how important these shows are, and we didn't want to take a little break like that.
No, not at all. Sometimes you just got to do things, and then you come back stronger. So, we're gonna jump right into it with some breaking news.
Yeah, there is some big news. Let's just get into it. I mean, in terms of injuries, fantasy injuries happen, and you kind of have to be prepared for it,
Yeah.
especially, when making moves on the roster, or on the waiver wire, making sure that you're updating your roster constantly, trades. But these are some big things, and I would just say to start, the biggest injury news right now between all the players, James Conner out for season, Ceedee Lamb ankle sprain anywhere 2 to 4 weeks, Mike Evans hamstring multiple weeks, Terry McLaurin quadricep multiple weeks, Tyrone Tracy Jr. dislocated shoulder 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, all of these things have major fantasy implications.
Yeah, and this is why we talk about in the later rounds to really focus on your bench and not and prioritize it because as you could see, week 3 going into week 4, we already have notable injuries that we have to take care of.
Yeah.
And be prepared for. There's going to be a lot of names that players out there must get accustomed to. The backups for these starters. And that's why we're having this waiver show, because we're going to tell you who to pick up, even if waivers do run, because we're being recorded the night before and some people's waivers run on different days. These people still might be available, so watch out. And my biggest suggestion and tip is not who's available, but who's going to be dropped, Mike.
Yeah.
I always try to look at who's dropping their trash, because that could be my treasure.
Puma loves going to the sale aisle.
Think about walking into Old Navy. Nobody wanted that sweater, and now it's mine.
And honestly, yeah, I think that's where you see a lot of the gems pop up, back and forth too. And you got to almost plan in advance. Like, you don't pick up a guy before something happens.
A great example of that, not to cut you off, was Mark Andrews last year.
Yeah.
A lot of people gave up on him right now, week 4, week 5. And, if you were right there to grab him, you almost got a league winner at tight end. So be aware.
A lot of people are going to get dropped. And I bet you this week you're going to see some crazy names like Colston Loveland, Travis Hunter, I heard in some places, which blows my mind. But, I mean, there's a lot of people. Let's just go back over, the injuries. So, James Conner out for season. This is now, I don't know. He's had multiple injuries, but it's a shame because I actually love Conner and his fantasy production. But, yeah, I mean, I guess it was time anyway. He's out for the whole season. This is probably the last time he'll ever be relevant. But this is Trey Benson's backfield now.
Yeah, Mike, coming into it, the last 8 seasons, James Conner had only been healthy for one of them, and it was last year. So odds were against him coming into this year. I was very high on Trey Benson coming into the year, as particularly prioritizing him as a handcuff. It's his backfield now, and he will get to show off his talents in Arizona against Seattle on Thursday night. As a priority, waiver ad, he's at the top of the list, and it's someone that you should probably drop 80% of your fab on if he's available. And, I'm not saying nobody, in your league didn't draft him, but if they dropped him by now and they needed to make space, this is someone that you need to go full fab dump, prioritize. I remember a guy in my league, he went full-fledged 80% on Elijah Mitchell, won the league.
Oh God, yeah.
And
there's always
he went $90, 85, I believe it was 85, fab money, and he literally won the league because he picked up Elijah Mitchell, and he had the starter at the time. It's leaving my my mind, but he went down.
So I mean, the point is that clearly, I mean, regardless of Fab, I don't even know if he's available. Like, if he's available in your league, please let me get in that league. I need to be a part of that. But no, seriously, I mean, Trey Benson, that's a big factor now. And I don't think it's going to change much about the Cardinals. They're pretty. They love to pound the ball. They are
especially goal line
team. So Trey Benson should see a lot of work. Ceedee Lamb, ankle sprain, 2 to 4 weeks. This is a tragedy for most people on the, I guess you would say on the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, this brings him down big time.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is going into this matchup against Green Bay, and you have to make space, and you're an 0-3 team, and you have Dak Prescott, are you cutting him?
It's a great question. I'm actually in the middle of deciding that myself right now.
You still got Pickens there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I feel like if you have him stacked with somebody, like let's say Pickens or Ceedee Lamb, you can't drop him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. If you have
even with the tough matchups coming up.
Well, I mean, but in my case, so I have Drake May and Dak Prescott. So it's like, I don't want to get rid of him just yet. I'm still kind of waiting to see. But I think it's mainly how important is who you're trying to pick up. If it's somebody that you're going to start right away, then maybe you have to pull the plug on a Dak Prescott. But that's a questionable pick, and definitely look at your roster. Like, if you have a stack going, don't drop him just yet.
You know what this time is for, right? Would you rather?
Oh, who is
my friend? I'm going to run this now.
Let's go.
Would you rather Dak Prescott or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
Okay.
I have, just because of that rushing capability. I'm so addicted to Justin Fields, man. I think you got to give him one more shot, especially against this Monday night Miami Dolphins.
Okay. How about this one? Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, who might be coming back this week against Jacksonville. Some people out there, if they didn't have an IR, they probably dropped him, right? And you need a win. You're 0-3. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott.
We're going Dak Prescott still there.
Okay.
I have to.
Okay. Last but not least, Dak Prescott or our boy, Aaron Rodgers.
Still, Dak Prescott, I think. I think at that point, Dak Prescott, just because of the capability, like they're not out of it yet. They still have some valuable people too that might be possible to play.
I was trying to give people that were in that range of, maybe been dropped or available. So, all right, cool.
The quarterback scene is ugly right now.
Oh, man.
It is ugly.
I started Mariota in our league, so.
Great play, though.
It is 5 minutes prior to.
You have to be prepared, too, to look at matchups, and that's what you did there.
Yes. I saw Vegas was a little on the weaker end, and I knew the week prior to that Monday, Herbert did some work against them, so why not?
So that's another injury. What happened in that game?
Well, what with Mike Evans.
McLaurin. I guess you could do Mike.
Yeah, no, I was in McLaurin because it's relevant to Commander. We had Mike Evans, but we're gonna go skip to Scary Terry. So Terry McLaurin, quadriceps, injury. He should be out multiple weeks. Mike, does this raise the value of Deebo Samuel, especially against Atlanta? Like, are you even playing any Commanders? With that tough Atlanta D in Atlanta, they're gonna be mad. They just lost 30-0. I can't believe it, to Carolina. What are you doing with the Commanders wide receivers group? If or they stay with Mariota.
So to me, because of Jayden Daniels being out, I was worried to play Deebo. And because of where you drafted him, you most likely had 2 or 3 receivers you could play ahead of Deebo. But then once I saw now McLaurin is out too, now it almost evens the playing field. Okay, no McLaurin or Daniels. I mean, he might get hyper targeted by a little dump off king like a Mariota. And I think now, especially with no Austin Eckler, I mean, who's going to run the ball as efficiently? You see they have that whole committee back there. But bottom line is I think Debo, his stock definitely goes up, and it's probably the only one stock who goes up in this instance.
Yeah, because they're 2-1, I could see this be a revenge game. Mariota, who was a former Atlanta Falcon and got cut. So
Huge.
I can see them start him, and I think he starts to get Debo more involved. But yeah, I mean, for you McLaurin owners out there, for me, listen, he wasn't putting up points anyway, so he's probably on your bench. If anything, I look at this as an opportunity to I hope to God that you play with an IR spot, so you could put him on IR, add a player off the waiver wire, like some names that we're going to bring up soon. So not too much detriment to your fantasy team, more so to the Commanders themselves.
Yeah, and be sure to be active on that because you probably paid a pretty high price for him, third or fourth round pick. You need to hit the waivers.
Third, fourth, or maybe fifth. But yeah, definitely it lets you add a spot. How about Mike Evans? They were playing against our Jets, Mike. Left like the end of the third quarter with a hamstring injury. He's predicted to be out multiple weeks. A skyrocket up for Mika Ibuka. I mean, we were worried about Godwin coming back, but now with the Mike Evans injury, even if I think all three play eventually together, I hate to say it, and you have a future Hall of Famer on there, I think Amika is the number one.
Absolutely, and I think
Emeka.
I think Ibuka has been the most efficient rookie by far so far, and the path is just cleared for him this whole way.
Yeah,
Mike Evans now, and God, Mike Evans.
Me personally, being in this spot, I would temper expectations though on Ibuka, just because when someone is given the path like this, sometimes they fall flat on their face because now all the coverage is going to be rolled to this rookie. I would personally look, if you need a desperation start, Sterling Shepard, a guy that used to be with Baker Mayfield back in Oklahoma days, has some rapport with him, or a Cade Otton if you're lacking at tight end. I believe those could be future plays with the coverage going to be all over Amika. And hey, stock up for my boy Bucky Irving, because you know what they're going to do. He's got probably 30 attempts in him coming up this Sunday.
And so much snap volume for him. 75% of the snaps, Bucky Irving's in, and he's going to be in even more.
Dog.
It's funny you mentioned Sterling Shepard because last year, he had those couple of games where Godwin was injured, of course.
Dude, he's a spot start.
Yeah, then Jalen McMillan did. He was getting 75% of snaps, 68, 65. He's sneaky, and I always laughed ever since he left the Giants. He had that one video. Ever saw that video of him in the store? He was in Foot Locker, and he was a staff member, and he showed some kid his jersey. He was undercover, and he was like, "Hey, what do you think about this player?" They're like, "Oh, he's ass. He ass." Len, you gotta find that clip, but you don't have to add it. But anyway, I'm sure anybody who's seen this knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, and Mike Evans with those hamstrings, poor thing.
Yeah, but you know what? He'll be better after it. Moving forward, our boy Tyrone Tracy. By the way, that Sunday night game was like watching paint dry. I mean, the New York Giants could not move the football. Not you, Tracy. You were actually moving it for them until you got injured. You couldn't help that. He's out with a dislocated shoulder, 2 to 4 weeks. He most likely will probably be put on IR. The man there, like I said from the beginning of the summer, Mr. Cam Scatterboo.
Cam Scatterboo is unbelievable, man. And I think now, I learned some crazy stat about him that he had 3,500 rushing yards his junior year of high school, 42 touchdowns, averaged 11 yards a carry. I mean, that's out of control. I saw a video of him not even getting tackled by everybody. He was running the whole length of the field, and not a single person could tackle him. They all touched him at one point.
I kind of want to,
He's been like that for years, though. In Arizona.
Once I run into, a good 4 or 5 million, if we were to have cage matchups with, football players, Cam Scatterboo versus Baker Mayfield, who's coming out?
Yeah.
Blue-collar guys, have heart of gold, fight for everything. Who's getting out? Who's getting out?
Those are two cold dudes,
and it's
bro.
crazy to say because, like, Cam is, like, short, stocky, you would think, like, a manhandle him. Bro, I would put Baker up against 4 wolves.
Yeah, Baker's a dog. He's an absolute
there was
psychopath.
Like last Monday night, I think he could have went on the IR like 3 times in one drive. Like CJ Gardner Johnson almost like took out his leg. Like, dude, he's flipping all over the place. Like, when I see Baker, like, that's what I want on my team. A dog.
Yeah. Even with Mike Evans down, I don't think that Baker's
Cam Scatterboot too, bro. They're both dogs. But that's why I say, like, who's coming out of that cage?
So even with all these injuries, like, some people don't get affected. Cam Scatterboot certainly does. And, like, let it be known, too. I mean, Cam Scatterboot was overtaking this backfield before Tyrone Tracy got hurt. And when we saw Tyrone Tracy went down, I was very sad, of course. Especially being that he's a friend here. But I'll be honest, man. Like I saw him get hit, and I'm like, Cam Scatterboot would have ate that. To see him get the dislocation, that's a concern for me. If I have him, I've already seen him dropped in multiple leagues.
Yeah. I think also too, how I would have used Tyrone going forward when he does come back. Just put him in the slot. He has that receiving experience back at Iowa, right?
Yeah, and then he went to Purdue.
Yeah, so I could definitely see him not translate back to a full wide receiver, but if we want to have our best talent on the field, I think Tyrone Tracy is their maybe second or third best wide receiver on that team, and he has that burst. So hope you get well, man, and we'll see you soon in like 4 weeks.
Same.
Najee Harris, season-ending torn Achilles, my friend.
Huge.
The Hampton Inn has arrived, and there's no more bed bugs. I know there was a comment that someone said there might be bed bugs at the Hampton Inn because of 2 weeks prior to. Don't worry, the cleaning service did come, and John Harbaugh woke up and started giving the ball to my boy, even though it took a one-eyed guy to get out. But nevertheless, this is sad news for Najee Harris. A vet in this league. Before this year, had started every game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, you could say he was the Lou Gehrig of
football. 315 opportunities to be exact in Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah, he was like the Lou Gehrig, Cal Ripken of football.
And 4 years ago, he was a first-round pick in fantasy football.
Dude, I took him first in our keeper league, 2021. I never forget it. And I could tell that he was going to be a very talented player. Hopefully he gets right, and we'll see him in 2026.
Yeah, the torn Achilles definitely assures the backfield for the already. You already knew that he wasn't. What happened?
No, nothing.
You already knew Omarion Hampton was an absolute workhorse. And he's already getting 80% of the snaps and expect to see more. Then, of course, these other couple of quarterback injuries, Joe Burrow, Jayden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, J.J. McCarthy, some coming back, some not. But, wait, Puma, this is a perfect thing right now. Who would be your stream of the week out of just these quarterbacks, out of their backups this week coming up? Who would be your stream of the week?
For quarterbacks?
Quarterback.
All right, my stream of the week for quarterbacks would be Carson Wentz. I know that
Carson Wentz he would go with.
Yeah, I feel like Drake May put on a good performance against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Justin Fields week prior to. I feel like the Pittsburgh D is something to keep an eye on, and a lot of teams are targeting them and putting up points. And I feel like with Jordan Addison back, you got Justin Jefferson. Let's not forget. You got Jordan Mason in the back. TJ Hawkinson hasn't even come to his full potential yet. Man, he's got weapons. He's ready to roll. So my stream of the week at quarterback, out of all of this mess, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterback injuries, so you probably need somebody. But in the end, just make sure you get somebody on your bench at least. If you are having quarterback issues, have 2 quarterbacks. I wouldn't just stick with one.
No, with all of this going on, you need to have backups. I went as far as they actually made a joke about me in our league. that I had 4 quarterbacks on the roster, and
we had a picture of it. Len, you got to put this picture up.
Everybody in the
casino. He had 5 quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, wait, there was. Oh, the IR. I got the 2 guys on the IR. 5.
But in that case, I mean, everybody was swarming him. You had to do it. You had some major issues. Like Purdy and McCarthy both get injured.
Listen, I'm not trying to gas myself, but I am a 2-time champ. There is a reason why. Sometimes it's not because of talent. Sometimes you just gotta play the game called keep away. So, if you play it to a certain extent and then you just disperse everyone, as it may be, you can't have everyone on the roster. But if someone might have potential, listen, I had all 5 and I didn't play any of them because I ended up with Mariota. So that's all you need to know. But just always be on the lookout and
slowly releases them into the wild.
5 steps ahead, man. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, dog.
Yeah.
What do we got next, my friend?
So next, I know you're talking about a bad game the other night on Sunday Night Football, but let's talk about a great game last night, Monday Night Football. It might be 2 nights ago, depending on when you're watching this, but Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, the Lions really, gave them the business. 38-24. Puma was down on the Lions big time, which is why I had to rub it in his face, the Ben Johnson thing. But I think the Lions look great right now. Gibbs and Montgomery look phenomenal.
No, I'll give you your due. Right now, they look very good. They didn't start off too well. I think a lot that had to play into that was the combination of new coordinators, and they didn't play any of their starters in preseason. I think that the first 2 weeks was their preseason.
Yeah.
And now you could see that's the Detroit Lions we know and love. Gritty, Dan Campbell, run the ball, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. They ran that show last night. And Aiden Hutchinson, let's not forget. Don't forget to pick up that defense for next week. But, talking about that game last night, I feel like the Ravens are just finding new ways to lose games.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry, the king, people want to say he has a fumbling issue right now. Listen, at the end of the day, it's football. The guy made a mistake. You think he wanted to go fumble, in the 4th quarter? Absolutely not.
3 fumbles now.
Right. So absolutely not. I think he'll take care of it. I think there's a guy in Franklin Lakes that used to do that, and he was very successful, Mr. Tiki Barber. So they fixed that, and he was a good player after that. I think the same will happen with Derrick Henry. So all those people that want to trade Derrick Henry, remember when he got you the 50 points 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, you can't trade or bench Derrick Henry. You have to play him. So no matter what, despite the fumbles, just suck it up.
I'll take the -2, but the 30 points.
Suck it up, keep your head up high, and go into this week 4. Play Derrick Henry all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a great game. Some key takeaways. There were so many players. I'm in so many leagues that it was stressing me out because I had this one affecting this. I knew if this happened, I was still going to lose.
Think about
here.
taking 5 parlays.
You know what? But you got, that
on
stressed
top of
me out too much. That's why I don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's too stressful. But, and then, of course, the biggest news that we found out today, our man, Mr. Jaxson Dart, who was basically our quarterback favorite going into this year. Me and Puma were big on Jaxson Dart. The Giants moved up to take him with the 26th pick of the 1st round, so he is officially getting the starting position. Russell Wilson's getting benched week 4. I think we have a little mixed feelings on this.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is just to save the Giants, coaching staff and front office, job position. I mean, let's face it, I love Jaxson Dart. You love Jaxson Dart. I think he is a great prospect and will be a great professional quarterback. The problem is his time now? That is the biggest question. We will have that answer come Sunday at 1:00. The problem is that he's facing a top 5 defense, Mike. The Chargers aren't no joke.
Week to bring him in.
Like you couldn't wait till the Saints, right? You couldn't wait till week 5, right? We had to get him in now. No, the only reason why he's in now was because ownership probably said you embarrassed me on Sunday Night Football, and you had everybody talking about us because Russ looks so terribly. But terrible. So my point is, why bring in Jameis Winston? Was he there just to be the team cheerleader? Because right now is time for Jameis Winston. I would go from one veteran to another, and then Dart. At least give Winston 1 or 2 weeks, right? So for me, feels a little bit rushed. It feels like the fans own the team because let's face it, the fans wanted
they were
Dart
cheering up. Yeah.
in. I don't blame them. They look because sometimes it's kind of like I'd rather the unknown than the known, right? Like Dart is better for them a season from now, 2 years from now. But this week coming up, I believe he is not ready yet. That is me personally. Can he come out, show some flashes the first half? Absolutely. The Chargers are probably going to be sleepwalking the first half because they're a West Coast team. Eastern time, Western time, they're going to be like at 10 a.m. So when they start. So the second half, the West Coast teams always wake up. So watch out for that. But right now, I feel like this is a little bit too premature. And now you've gone to him. You can't go back. This is it. That's the thing. So, if you were to follow the pecking order and go to Winston and then go to Dart, okay, fine. This is what we're doing. It's October, mid-October. It's week 9. I mean, it's like week 7, whatever the case may be. It's time to go to him. But I didn't think he was going to sit out the whole year. But 3 weeks in, we're ready to go to Jaxson Dart. All right, let's see.
I will say that if Jameis Winston did get a chance, that would be Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, even Cam Scatterbo through the roof. Oh. I mean, Jameis Winston is
still could be
football legend.
They still could be.
And that's the thing, is that you don't really know what to expect, but I think anything might be a better option than Russell Wilson. And Jaxson Dart, listen, I added him in a league 2 weeks ago, and then I told Puma, you think I should keep him? You think it's a little premature? He said, dump him. And you dump him fast. That's basically what he told me. Yeah, and he said, mainly because you're holding on to,
a roster spot.
Precious treasure there.
Right.
So I did, and then, I mean, he's relevant now, but do I want to pick him up? No. I mean, I don't know.
I will say I am starting him in my super flex just because I originally drafted
super flex is different.
But I have to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah, you have to have.
I think he's better than Mac Jones and Michael Penix, who's another story.
Michael Penix. We'll have to get into that. Discuss the turmoil.
We might be going back to Kirky. We might going back to Kirk Cousins.
And that could really produce some.
But you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about when you bring in somebody prematurely?
Yeah.
You don't want to have to go back to the veteran because now if Atlanta can't. If Atlanta does that, eventually you're saying that Penix is not the guy. They've already killed off Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. He is not the guy. He will be somewhere else next year and be a project for the future. Right now you're Atlanta, that's premature, and the Giants definitely premature. But we'll see.
We will. I mean, let's hope and pray. But what about the waiver wire?
Well, friends and enemies, you are all welcome to this. The waiver wire picks for week 4. You got Trey Benson, Tyler Horton, Tyquan Thornton, Calvin Austin, and Hunter Henry. Have your pickings. I know who mine are.
Amazing.
It is.
Honestly, that one thing always tongue twists me now. The Tyquan Thornton, Tyler Horton.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Horton here's a who.
So did you do that in numerical order?
No, I did that so that way I could challenge myself to have that many T's in a row.
So those are the top waiver wire picks you could say right now because
for myself.
In this case, there are people available, especially based on the injuries we mentioned, game script changes, just roster upgrades, whatever.
Right.
People that we're seeing now emerging. These are key guys that we could definitely bring in.
A guy that I really want to talk about on there, Tyler Horton. Right, we were talking about it before the show. I feel like coming into this season, I was very down about Cooper Kupp. He was in the Sean McVay system for a long time. Coming to a new system in Clint Kubiak, I feel like Horton takes the top off, the defense. You have JSN coming over the middle, doing all sorts of things. But Tyler Horton is a deep threat and somebody that could be a league winner.
Yeah, I mean, so into him.
Right now, he isn't getting that target share. I mean, right now he's getting 4 targets per game. But if your league has kickoff returns miscellaneous as a scoring, like mine does, like 6 points if he takes it
Oh,
back.
that's how he had the touchdown last game?
Yeah, he had
Because
one
that's what
that
I'm
way,
looking
and he
at
had
right now.
one the regular way, through the
Because to
air.
me, he's had 4 targets each game, 32
Think of
yards
him-
each game.
Think of him as like Devin Hester 2.0. You know, like he could probably give you those miscellaneous points, and then obviously the points on offense. Just be aware because
Oh, and it's Torrey Horton.
Torrey Horton, yeah. Or I put Tyler Horton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Torrey
dude,
Horton.
everybody's getting his name wrong. I've been
Jesus.
noticing.
Torrey.
I've heard other people talk about him too, and I'm like, wait.
Oh yeah, Torrey.
I mean,
Anyway,
he's an interesting one though.
no, Torrey Horton. Sorry,
He's
Torrey
available
Horton,
in
yeah,
basically
every league.
99%.
Every league.
Yeah.
He's probably owned by like 17% of people in your league and your platform.
The number one addition would be if for some reason
Trey
he's available. Trey Benson. We mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
I definitely think the Tyquan Thornton one is interesting, but
Yeah.
like to me, it's another thing where
You're renting time a little bit.
I'm skeptical because of Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice coming back.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're renting time a little bit right now. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if honestly, these really are.
His numbers look spectacular.
Thornton really depends on your record. Like, if you're 0-3, I'm spending 20% of FAB.
You gotta make
because you gotta win.
Yeah.
You gotta win. You cannot go 0-4.
Keep that
I
in
mean,
mind.
even though I've won a championship 0-4, it is very hard. It is very stressful. Every week feels like Game 7 of the World Series.
You got to keep
So-
that in mind too when you're making these picks. Like, are you prepared to drop Fab now, or make
Yeah.
an early claim?
And there was actually, some statistics that came out that, 80% of people, if they go hard in the beginning, are most likely to win their league. And why is that? Is because they're grabbing that talented off the wire. You don't want to be stingy. You want to be responsible. I think that's the word. If you truly believe in someone or they have the opportunity, like in Trey Benson, put down $70. Put down $20. You cannot take it to the grave with you. You cannot, after the season's over, it does not roll over. So your $100, $80, it goes poof.
To me, who's honestly one of the most important ads right now is if you're in desperate need of a tight end, Hunter Henry is a must add.
Absolutely.
And Hunter Henry was always one of those guys that people laughed at. Oh, you got no tight end this week. You got to pick up Hunter Henry off the waiver wire. But I mean, with Drake May, you're seeing he's getting his legit targets. He is almost a focal point of those pass catchers, and the wide receivers are never prominent. Diggs, I don't even know what's going on with him. He's almost droppable to me at this point too. Like,
yeah,
I'm not big on
it
Diggs.
really depends on your league, but Diggs definitely a drop candidate. And there's also other wide receivers out there that are like on the fringe, like Romeo Doubs. Are you dropping Romeo Doubs? I don't know. Like they're gonna start working Matthew Golden in. There is opportunity there, but against the Browns, he couldn't even seize it. It's kind of like those guys that when you don't expect them, they put up points.
I think guys though like Hunter Henry, especially for a team that's not as good, they're more mediocre. They're going to be losing a lot. They're throwing.
He's like their number one wide receiver,
and he is. He had 11 targets last game, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Hunter Henry, always the laughable joke in our league. Me and my buddy Jesse, we have like an inside joke about it because we always were like, bouncing around Hunter Henry.
Oh yeah.
And dropping.
Yeah. It's like, who wants to take a turn?
But listen, he's right now. He's got to be rostered at this point. You got to believe.
Yeah.
Do you believe? Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, no. Some other low-key, ads.
Lowkey on the
side. That you could add, and I really like this one. I mean, I did mention Sterling Shepard, but Wicks.
Dontayvion Wicks.
Dontayvion Wicks, all these names.
I love Dontayvion.
That is a really
it's a sneaky little
ad. A desperation. It's a Sunday night ad. Somebody that could really take the top off the defense. Look what Luther Burden did to the Dallas Cowboys and Caleb Williams. I feel like there's a big bounce back week for the Packers offense.
You're saying the Packers play the Bears?
No, I mean the Packers play the Dallas.
Oh,
so
Dallas.
I'm trying to relate Burden to Wicks.
His big
play, big play
on that
capability.
flea flicker. He saw
that. Yeah. And I actually played.
What was
Caleb
your boy DeAndre Swift doing there? He just
he thinks they're in the backyard here.
And Caleb just launched it, but dude,
it was like, do I
Luther
get points
Burden
for that?
already had so much air on him. First of all, I drafted him. I dropped him.
Yeah.
This has to do with kind of Puma talking about check out the trash. I dropped him like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
and Burden
he might be
and Burden's another low key ad too. Like if he's on your waiver wire and you're starving at the position, why not add him? They play I believe Vegas this week, and so that's another ad that you could put. And these are all flex plays. I wouldn't recommend playing this as your wide receiver one.
Then that's the thing. The low key, sneaky waiver wire ads. You got Eric Ayomanor, Sterling Shepard, Parker Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Dontayvion Wicks, and who did we just mention? Who was the other guy you just said?
Burden.
Luther Burden the third. I mean, these are all guys.
Luther Van.
Make sure you're doing something though. Like if any league, and pay attention. Like if it's a league Puma left and like ESPN leagues that have the claim, there's no fab. You're basically just wasting a claim, and then you go back to the top of the list. But use your claim wisely. Don't just get anybody.
Yes. It's kind of like if you know what the waiver claim is kind of like. It's kind of like if you have $1. And everybody has a $1, and it's like whoever spends their $1, well, you go back to the back of the line until you gain another $1.
Well, anyway, listen, that'll do it. We gotta close this out.
Yeah, wrap it up.
We gotta upload this thing. So
yeah,
be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow us. More videos coming. Mike Meals,
Joey Puma,
we are your fantasy wise guys.
Master your game.